Fast. Explosive. Out of this world, fast-paced action. Okay, I'm sorry, that was like a really bad impersonation of a movie narrator, but no, I'm not talking about the next Michael Bay movie, I'm talking about Fracture. The newest map added to Valorant is honestly super fun, and honestly, it just keeps you in the action. You're always moving, you're always shooting, and you're just having a good time. It reminds me a lot of Nuketown for any of you Call of Duty players out there. But just because it's a fast-paced map, that doesn't mean that there isn't strategy behind the map. There's a lot of thought that should go into your strategies on how to win every round. And in that is planning your team compositions. Now, while I don't really think that this map requires any specific agents that maps like Breeze might with Viper or Icebox with Sage, but there are definitely some agents that are better suited for this map than others. When you take a look at the map, Fracture isn't very big, and the attackers have a ton of different options when it comes to attacking. They can do quick splits, they can sandwich the site pretty easily, fast rotates using the ziplines, similar to Bind in their teleporters, or even honestly just a 5-man coordinated push from a certain area is probably enough to get the bomb down. The slower you go, the more time the enemy gets to figure out what you're doing though. And when they figure out what you're doing, they're able to grab map control, and then you can't really trick them and you can't really pull fast rotates on them, and it's harder to attack the sites. So on this map, you really want to explode on the sites and not give the enemies enough time to rotate and set up their defense. So when you're choosing your agents, you want to keep in mind, how can I attack fast, but at the same time slow down the enemies on defense and give my team enough time to rotate. But before you do that, you also need to recognize which parts of the map are the most important and who on your team should be holding those parts. Now before we get into the rest of the breakdown, I just want to say that if you're looking for guides for other maps, we have those as well as SkillCapped. We also have Smurf commentaries where Radiant level players talk you through their games and show you how you should be playing on each map. Or maybe if you wanted to learn how to run a default, play a specific agent, or just how to get better, we can help you with that too. We also have a rank improvement guarantee, so if you don't see your rank improving, you'll get your money back. But there's literally so much value here, I find it hard that you won't improve. If you're looking for the fastest way to climb in Valorant, be sure to check out skillcapped.com, link in the description below. So if you haven't watched our map guide on Fracture, I highly recommend you check that out before watching the rest of this video. It'll help you understand the map much better, and you'll know exactly what I'm about to talk about. So without getting too deep into it, the two most important parts of the map are going to be ropes on A site and tower on B site. As for ropes, as an attacker, if you gain control of this area, you can now cut off the only fast way the defenders have to this site, making the rotates much more clunky and harder for them to start the retake. And for tower, this part of the map allows you to enter the site from an additional angle that's super awkward for anyone on the site to defend from, and honestly it's a really strong post-plant position as well. Now the thing that both parts have in common is that they're both elevated, so taking them won't be that easy, especially if you're taking the zipline. It's super loud, predictable, and you'll probably get shot if you try to do it. So what you need are agents to push people off those angles in order to take them. But you also need agents who can move quickly and capitalize on those forced off angles. And then as a defender, you want agents who make it difficult to take those certain areas or be able to slow the enemy down, either with mollies, grenades, or anything of the like. So now let's talk about specific classes, and why not start with the one whose mic just never seems to work, and those are the Duelists. Fracture has 4 ultimate orbs, and honestly, I see that as enough reason to play Phoenix if you really wanted to. The only problem you might have is that you need to communicate and work together with your team to help you collect most of the orbs, which can be hard to do with random people, but I could see it work if you get 3 or 4 of your buddies together to play. His molly is really good, and his wall acts as a smoke for certain parts of the site, like taking B. Duelists that I think might be even better than Phoenix though are going to be everybody's favorite movement characters, Jett and Raze. These two give you the mobility to follow up off of your teammate's utility and take those important parts of the maps I talked about earlier much easier. As I mentioned before, tower and ropes can both be awkward to take with the rope itself, but Jett and Raze eliminate that option with their movement abilities. Jett can obviously updraft and dash, while Raze, with a little bit of practice, can double satchel in. As for Reyna and Yoru, I mean yeah, they have flashes, that's pretty cool. Reyna is not known to be a team player and is a pretty solo heavy agent. But people are still going to pick her anyways because everyone thinks that they can carry themselves out of whatever rank they're in just by shooting people. And as for Yoru, I don't really see the value in his kit still. I thought with a new patch they might rework him a little bit or maybe buff him or something. But you'd think this map would be perfect for him, right? He can run a ton of fakes and stuff, he can teleport super quickly, maybe take the zipline for a quick rotate or something. But honestly, I still think his whole kit is kind of a gimmick that needs a rework. And I think Riot devs have been talking about it, but he needs it quickly, and I just don't like him on this map. Next up, let's talk about the most underrated class in my opinion, and that's the Initiators. So out of this group, I think there's really only one agent that doesn't really work as well on this map, and that's Sova. Sova's honestly extremely great at gathering information on every other map, but remember what I said about playing fast. Sova isn't fast, at all. Not only that, but his recon dart doesn't really cover as much ground on this map with all these twists and turns. Just like Split, I just don't really think Sova's that great on this map. As for everyone else in this class though, I think they're great. Breach's stun can literally cover almost half of a site, and his ultimate covers literally everything. His Aftershock is great at clearing out those angles we talked about earlier, and Jet and Raze can easily follow up on one of his flashes. Now Skye is honestly just overpowered right now. Her flashes are just so unpredictable, they gather a ton of information. Her dog is great too, as it's faster than Sova's drone, but not only that, its vision isn't that limited because of how close quarters this map is. And KO's great too, his knife covers a ton of ground, and if it hits anyone, they're not going to be able to stop any aggression from your team. His molly is also super strong, like it hits like a truck, and is definitely going to force people off of angles. Plus his flashes are just fun to use, like you could just whip them all over the place, like whip one at the tower, and it should be easy to take. So, let's talk about controllers. And Brimstone is freaking awesome on this map. And this is finally the first map where I think Brimstone is more viable than the other controllers, and is probably the best controller on this map. Brim's kit is honestly super execute heavy, being able to lay down 3 smokes at a time. Not only that, his iPad keeps him in the action unlike Astra or Omen, who need more time to place down their smokes. His molly lasts a long time too, and his ultimate covers literally all of A site and most of B. His ult also pretty much gives you ropes or tower control for free. Omen is great as well. His flash covers a ton of ground like Ascent, there's a ton of hallways you can make awesome plays with, and his teleport's pretty neat as there's a bunch of different off angles you can play from, but his smokes take a bit to get down, so it might be harder for you to fight with your team if you're going fast. But honestly, I like him on this map. His ultimate is great at messing with enemies' heads as he can literally go anywhere and could set up some pretty nasty lurk plays. Astra is okay on this map. The only issue with her is that it takes a ton of time for her to get her utility off, and she might not be there with her team for the execute, but she's pretty good at running fakes maybe? I mean, her stars kind of freak people out when you place them down, but she's just a bit too much for this map. The amount of effort you need to play her on this map just isn't really needed, and if you're playing a different controller like Brimstone or even Omen, you can still fight with your team while putting your smokes down. Alright, so let's talk about Viper. And again, I think she's pretty good on this map. If you line up your wall like this for A site, you'll cover both spawn and ropes, and if you line it up like this for B site, you smoke off the 2 main retake spots for defenders. Not only that, but you get 2 mollies that are great for taking ropes or tower, or even stall the enemy's retake. Plus, as you all know, her orb is a great stalling ability with a few lineups, can be very annoying to play against. And her ult literally covers the entirety of each site, which is obviously super annoying. The only issue that I have with her is that if you decide to rotate to a different site, you're not going to have smokes for those sites. But honestly, I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. And then lastly, let's talk about the Sentinels. And honestly, this map is pretty similar to any other map where Cypher or Killjoy can work, it just depends on what your team wants. Cypher is really great at gathering information, while Killjoy is great at map control. Cypher can gather a ton of information as to where enemies are and aren't, giving your other teammates an idea of where it can be safe to rotate and where it might not be. His ultimate is also pretty awesome on this map, as enemies can be anywhere at basically any time. As for Killjoy, her mollies are great at delaying pushes, and her kit is much easier to fight with. She's great at holding those areas like tower or ropes, and honestly, if you dump your utility in those spots, odds are that you're not going to lose that much map control. I mean, unless they dump utility into you, but I think the trade-off is pretty worth it. And the enemies are probably going to take some chip damage. But not to mention, her ultimate is like super strong. It covers most of A site from a couple different spots. And on B, if you get it into tunnel, you literally have a free site. Just be careful because people can wallbang down onto it. Like, they can literally stand over it, look straight down, and wallbang into tunnel and break your ultimate. I've had it happen to me before. And if you don't know any setups for these 2 agents or can't be creative, don't worry, because soon we'll have setup guides coming soon for this map. And as for Sage, I mean, she's Sage. She's pretty good on any map, to be honest. And she's pretty good at stopping fast pushes, so honestly, if you don't like playing Cypher or Killjoy, Sage has a great kit for this map too. And finally, we covered all the agents, and now you should have a general idea of who's great on this map and who isn't. If it were up to me to create an ideal team composition, it would look something like this. You could run the double duelists of Raze and Jet, or maybe even double initiators with Skye and Breach, and then either Brimstone or Omen, that's really your pick and what you're comfortable with. And finally, any of the 3 Sentinels work well. Any of them. In my perfect world, I'd love to see a lineup of maybe Raze, Breach, Skye, Brimstone, and maybe a Cypher for a bit of information. With a lineup like that, I think you'd have a pretty easy time taking sites, while at the same time having enough utility to stop pushes, know where enemies are, and honestly, it'd be a pretty easy win. And this was all just one of our in-depth guides that we have on our website. Like I said, we also have tons of Radiant Smurf commentaries where we have Radiant players walk you through exactly how to play each agent during a live game, and they're super helpful to see in real time what goes through a top tier player's head. And as we mentioned before, it's also backed by a rank improvement guarantee, and the reason we do that is because we are just that confident that our service works. And if it doesn't work, you shouldn't pay. So what are you waiting for? You've got nothing to lose. Head on over to SkillCapped.com and get started on your way to that rank that you deserve. So I hope you guys understand which agents you should be playing on Fracture. Just like every other map, other agents are just better than others, and that's something you need to discuss with your team when selecting agents. With a little bit of coordination, your team should have an easy time playing on this map. And if you don't have friends to coordinate with and don't want to play with random people, check out our Discord, and there's tons of people that queue up with you and who want to get better. Link in the description. But as always, if you guys enjoy the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel down below. It really does help us out. And that's all for us. I'm Teets, and we here at SkillCapped want to thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.